panel is going to be talking about the direction of crypto exchanges. We have our moderator, Kenny Au, who's a contributor for Forbes China, and our speakers, Eric Gu, founder of Metaverse and Right BTC, Ivan Chan, the head of strategy at CoinSuper, and Robin Guo, the CEO at TaiLab and BCEX.com. Can you please give them a very warm round of applause to the stage?
Hello. Good morning, everyone. So there's been 1.3 billion US dollars worth of heists. These hacks, they don't make anyone feel comfortable. And so this is definitely a very important topic that I want to bring up. And I want to ask each and every one of you. Let's start with Eric Gu first. You run Right BTC. And what are some of the security measures that Right BTC is following today?
Well, security is very, very important. I can say almost all exchanges got hacked at some point of time. They just choose to disclose it or not. So I've been following all the news very carefully since 2013. The first hack I've ever heard was one of the Chinese exchange got hacked. So I try to write down each and every event, right? So how they got hacked, right? So try to patch all the holes, that the lessons that learned from those hacks. And of course, the basic security is you have to assume that all your customers' login username and password has been compromised already. So what you need to think about is if your customer's login username and password already compromised, how do you protect your customers' assets, right? So when your customer trade, buy or sell crypto, you need a trade PIN code. When they withdraw their assets, you need secondary authentication, right? That's very important. Of course, the cold wallet and hot wallet system also very, very important. So that's our security measure.
Great. I will ask you more questions about that.
Okay, cool. I guess I said too much.
No, definitely not. These are some of the very key points that we want to bring up today. Thank you. So let's go with Ivan Chan. So what are some of the things that you guys are doing at CoinSuper?
Right. Actually, I just started CoinSuper not long ago. And then CoinSuper is a newly established exchange. It soft launched on the 27th of February. And then my title right now is Head of Strategy. And the one thing that I'm looking at it right now is the major part of it is the security issues. So recently I've engaged one of the big fours, and then they're very happy to evaluate our security issues. Things like architecture, internal control, penetration testing, instant response, things like that.
Okay, great. And we have another veteran here today, Robin Guo. Wow, you've operated 2 exchanges as CEO, BCEX and also Altcoin. So, even though you're not operating exchanges anymore, but tell us some of the things that's very important to pay attention to, us operating as an exchange.
Yes, of course. I have 4 years experience operating 2 exchanges. To me, the security problems, normally I can categorize them as 2 kinds. First is because of the fault of exchange, because that's the hacker, they actually breached your own defense system. So normally, if you want to prevent this kind of problem, I think first of all, you need to find the right people. You need to find really honest people with integrity to manage your system, your technicians, your crypto asset keepers. That's the first thing. And second thing, I think, is the technology. I heard that some of the exchanges use open source protocols, but they don't know that protocol that well. There could be some bugs inside of the open source protocol. Some of the exchanges, they got hacked because of this. And certainly I must say that's about internal control. You must establish a good internal control procedures so that your crypto asset management can be safe and sound. And the second category, I would say it's because of your user's fault. In this category, I mean, normally the user wouldn't be able to keep their password and account safe. And for this kind of risks, what we need to do is to really have a really strong customer service team. So you can always look after your users, and secondly, you need to really have a very, very good product design so that your product's procedures would prevent the users to lose their password. And even though sometimes they don't remember the password, you have your procedures to help them to retrieve your password safely. Okay, that's what
right. Thank you, Robin. So there's two areas that I want to touch up on today. Definitely, there's the internal process that exchanges need to follow, and secondly, there is also the training that the exchanges need to provide to their users. So first of all, starting with Eric, talking about internal procedures. Earlier, you were talking about the multi-factor processes. So can you tell us more about that?
The most used it's called Google Authenticator, right? So every time people needs to change something important of their profile, or say withdraw assets from the exchange, they need Google Authenticator. That's a given. There will be a lot of bugs or say security holes around this thing. Maybe, have you guys heard last time Binance got hacked? That's precisely that. You know, when user reset their API key, Binance forgot to ask for secondary authentication. But Binance's marketing strategy was to spin away from people focusing on their problem. They're not telling that, that was our design flaw. They're talking about hackers, right? But actually it's design flaw. So whenever user change their API key, you need to be asked for secondary authentication, right? Otherwise, as I said before, we have to, as a exchange operator, assume user's username and password already compromised. So that's precisely what happened in Binance. The username has compromised, and when the hacker used user's username and password to change API key, they didn't ask for the secondary authentication. That's where the hacking happened.
Okay, great. What about you, Ivan? For CoinSuper, what are some of the internal processes that you guys are very rigor on?
We're very KYC AML compliant, and then we basically go through world check, and if there's any flags, usually we will just stop the customer from withdrawing or doing any transactions.
How do you guys do that?
We actually have recently hired head of HSBC AML, head of AML HSBC, and then he was also the money laundering specialist in ICAC. So he's very focused on that part, and then he's very good at it.
Yeah, definitely. I could see how they also bring a big wealth of knowledge, to this industry.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I was actually a fraud investigator myself.
Fraud investigator.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So how about you, Robin?
Well, yes. First of all, I think it's also we have compulsory KYC. It's very important. And our KYC is very sophisticated. We ask a lot of information from the users. And secondly, still, I think it's the same as what Eric just said. It's about multi-factor authentication, and we have three kind of authentication. First of all, it's Google Authenticator, and secondly, if we find that the user trying to log in from a different IP from the last one, we're going to ask his date of birth. And thirdly, we are going to need users' verification code from SMS. So that's three things that we would require.
I remember the day when CoinCheck got hacked. I called up the executive from them and to discuss, because there are over 500 million worth of ZEM stolen. And, you know, I think largely is because their team at CoinCheck, they had left a lot of ZEM inside their hot wallet, right? But that's a lot of currency stolen. So what are some of these internal processes that you guys would have where, hey, for example, there could be a matrix where I can stop a certain level of currencies leaving, you know, the wallet, right? I would like to start off with CoinSuper. Ivan.
Right. We usually do not leave that much of coins in hot wallet. We usually put that in cold wallets, and then we only leave a significant amount so that it's good to run a daily trading. Right. And then things that we also do, including like multi-segs, and then we also do just like Gary and they said, we also do like authentication.
Okay.
Music.
How about for Eric?
Hey, it's a trade secret. Actually, we are trying to automate all the system, but not yet. That's the trade secret. So it needs to be automated, meaning you have to set the upper limit of hot wallet. But the hot wallet balance needs to be adjusted according to your average daily withdrawal amount, right? So you have to have reserve in the hot wallet server to meet your withdrawal demand. But other than that, most of the coins needs to be in the cold wallet server that never touches the internet, right? Just for storage. But I actually want to bring up another topic, meaning, do you think it's right for exchange to store customers' coin? Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's a very good question, because exchanges, they want that for convenience.
For the traditional finance, we have something called custodian bank. Right? You have, so custodian bank, they keep customers' asset, and exchange itself does only one thing: exchange. Right? It's basically a match engine. They shouldn't touch customers' asset. So we're talking about hot wallet server and cold wallet server because we don't have a crypto custodian service yet, but I do see it's coming. That's my point.
Okay. And later, I also want to talk about, are we ready for decentralized exchange? But I will ask you guys that later. And let's start off with Robin. You know, what kind of internal procedures should, you know, these exchanges follow?
Yes, I think just like what Ivan and Eric has said. First of all, you got a cold wallet and a hot wallet, and then you never keep too much asset on your hot wallet. And secondly, yes, we have a daily limit. Anything that's higher than the daily limit, ordinary user cannot withdraw. And thirdly, I think that's maybe something different, is that we have a significant amount limit. If any withdrawal which is higher than certain amount, we would require extra procedure. We would send an email to customer email box for extra confirmation, and secondly, we would have our customer service to call the user to confirm whether your withdrawal is authentic or not. And also we would record customer information when our customer service specialist calling the user. So that's something that.
So do exchanges have like a VIP hotline where, you know, if there's like a $10 million transaction going in, do you guys give them a call?
Yes. We definitely would do that because that's for customer safe measure.
Yeah, one thing I want to ask you guys about is, you know, I think one of the reasons why exchanges could get hacked is because their internal staffs, you know, they might be on some random site and they happen to download a phishingware, right? So how often are exchanges auditing, you know, their internal staff's computers even, besides doing the penetration testing on their main site? I want to start off with CoinSuper. Is this a very private question or?
Yes, it is. But we have engaged one of the big fours to evaluate on our internal control. So,
internal control, right.
And they, of course, it's just suggested it's going to be reviewed quarterly, biannually, and annually.
Okay. Penetration testing is definitely very important. And as a matter of fact, whenever codes upgraded, definitely the exchanges need to get audited, right? So now let's talk about training, for example. I believe it's not only the responsibility for the exchanges to protect their customers' assets and also to provide training as well. So I want to ask Eric, are you guys planning to help train some of your existing customers, and what about new ones? What are some of the programs that you guys are putting into place?
Yes, actually, you know, what I believe is customer needs to be trained about the sense of security. They need to know what they're getting into when they log on to exchange. And most people, I mean, most experts that ask users not to leave their coins with exchange, keep them in their own wallets. But how many users are capable of doing that? Not many. So is it exchange's responsibility to teach people use their own wallet? Because for the interest of exchange, we want customer to leave their coins with us. So that's very, you know, that's really hard, right? For us to train customer to leave their coins in their own wallet. That you know, that just doesn't make sense. But we will do the training is teach them how to recognize fraud and how to trade, be a good trader. But probably not how to use your own wallet. Yeah, that's that.
Okay. How about for you guys at CoinSuper, Ivan?
I think the audience might be more even interested in asking questions like, how do we get listed on the exchange?
Oh, those are some of the questions
security issues.
Yeah.
I think a lot of exchanges, they do it differently. And then another thing that I'm working on right now, the reason why I'm here today is to look at good ICOs, to pick some good ICOs to list on our exchange. Currently, we have like 20 pairs with top 20 pairs with 7 of them crypto to fiat. So usually we investigate on that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, how about you, Robin?
Yeah, to me, I think in terms of how to use exchange, the less you train, that means the better your product design is. So in that sense, we don't want to train our user too much because we want to design our product really, really well so that the user wouldn't have any trouble of using our exchange. That's for one thing. Another thing that I think we definitely need to train our users is that it's investment risk. That's something that we really need to teach our users. Never put too much money than what you can afford, and how to how to invest rather than what to invest rather than how to invest.
Okay, so what are some of the technologies that Right BTC is working on?
I do see a problem right now with exchanges. There are a lot of KYC and AML and counter-terrorist finance measures put into the exchange. But for users, those bad hackers, they gotta get through this anyway. But for regular users, they got asked for the same question when you log on to different exchanges time and time again. Right, so we actually, I'm the founder of Metaverse, the blockchain as well. So I'm thinking that we are thinking actually we can have a decentralized identity system, meaning you can use blockchain, digital ID, log on to an exchange, and you finish KYC and AML there, and you use the same ID, blockchain ID, log on to different exchanges. And you use zero-knowledge proof and tell the second exchange, I've done KYC and AML and counter-terrorist measure on the first exchange. Say, if I finish my KYC AML on Binance or Huobi or OKCoin, then I come to my exchange and say, hey, I've done that on those exchanges. Can you accept that? I don't have to answer the same question again. And I have proof, zero-knowledge proof. It's hash on the blockchain. Can I just get through, become your VIP user?
That's very exciting because I don't enjoy going on multiple exchanges and having to log in multiple times.
Yeah, you have to register and log in and go through the KYC process. It's just a pain.
Okay, right? that makes a lot of sense. And I think our time is up here today. But wow, that was very great sharing, Eric. Really appreciate that. Okay, thank you everyone.